She then goes on to say later on in the chapter that for the entirety of my young and skittish life, I had fixated upon my fear. My gosh, this resonates with me, as if it was the most interesting thing about me, when actually it was the most mundane. In fact, my fear was probably the only 100% mundane thing about me. I had creativity within me that was original. I had a personality within me that was original. I had dreams and perspectives and aspirations within me that were original. But my fear was not original in the least. My fear wasn't some kind of rare artisanal object. It was just a mass-produced item available on the shelves of any generic box store. And that's the thing I wanted to build my entire identity around. The most boring instinct I possessed. The panic reflex of my dumbest inner tadpole. No. So I'm just going to hark back to my notes here, and I'll read you what I've written. And it says, this chapter resonates a lot with me. Over the years, upon discovering the knowledge that I was a sensitive, anxious, fearful demeanour, that I had a sensitive, anxious, fearful demeanour, that rather than just acknowledging that, I let it define me. It became my whole identity rather than just a partial explanatory fact about me. Rather than a helpful signpost on my journey alerting me to something to be aware of, it became my destination. What an absolutely dull and monotonous destination it has been. So that's from my journal about Gilbert's quote about fear. I think we need to be very careful here that when we talk about things being mundane, that we aren't talking about the everydayness of life. I like, and by and large live, a very quiet, not rushed, move at my pace kind of lifestyle. And sometimes I have to up the ante when it's for other people. So certainly home educating Joey, that I have to change that. But generally, how I choose to live my life is quite quiet and introverted, and not what I would say is exciting by the way the world defines exciting. And that's not what I think that Gilbert is saying here at all. I don't think she's saying that that is mundane. I think what she is saying is that when we choose to listen to our fears more than we choose to listen to our curiosity, then life becomes a bit bleak and a bit grey, because we don't try new things or challenge ourselves or step out of our comfort zones at all. So for me, just setting aside a couple of minutes a day to do a craft, or learn a new song on the guitar, or try and master an old song on the guitar, they're the sweeteners to the everyday life. They are the things that bring that little bit of enchantment to the everyday, that speak to my soul. For other people, it will be walking in a forest or beside a beach, or listening to music or playing music, or whatever the thing is that your creativity sparks and you go after it because you are curious about where it will lead you. That is the enchantment she talks about. For me, it's not about upping the ante of excitement in my life. It is now about acknowledging that fear is there. It is a part of my life. It is a part of who I am, but it is not my final destination. That it can come along for the ride, but it's not in the driver's seat. And I want curiosity and creativity to be in the driver's seat. What about you? How do those quotes make you feel? Do you have the same kind of reaction to them? Is it just meh to you? You've already been there. You've been past that phase in life. How do those revelations and the way that Gilbert writes about those affect you, if they affect you at all? So I've been Maria. I'll catch you on the flip side.